Happy Showcase Sunday, everybody. And this week's Showcase Sunday is with the amazing Angela Rawlinson, who's with Utility Warehouse, but she is also partnered, as myself, with a platinum broker consultant, which she'll talk about very shortly. And the Showcase Sunday is all about helping our hospitality and tourism businesses thrive during these times, and also how we can help and support everybody connected with you. So let me ask Angela to introduce yourself. Tell me who you are, what you do, and why you do it.
Morning, Alison. I'm Angela Rawlinson. I live in Kendal. I've been partnered with Utility Warehouse for 9 years. I'm a retired police officer. So I started doing this job whilst I was still in the police. So yes, that's what I do. I do it and I love it.
Excellent. Why do you love it? What's unique and different about Utility Warehouse, Angela?
I think we're very different to all the other energy providers or service providers because we give that personal service, and it's about helping people to streamline their finances, their monthly outgoings, so that everything's on one bill and they can budget easier.
And I've noticed, actually working with business owners and managers throughout the industry, how they try to avoid talking about energy, and yet that's one of the biggest bills at the moment, isn't it?
It is. People tend to kind of bury their heads in the sand and hope that everything will be okay, and it just comes out the bank every month and they pay the same amount, but sometimes they end up being in debt, and that's where we like to try and help out and make them think about it a little bit more. It is important. It is a monthly bill, and it should be top of your list before you start with anything else.
Yeah, I agree. And cost savings right now is incredibly top priority, especially as we go into the winter season for a lot of businesses in the hotspots in Cumbria and Cornwall, etc., and Wales. But we have got businesses all over the country who are looking at the different areas, and I found it fascinating that I actually mentioned the increase in energy back, I think it was April, May, on my FAQ Fridays. And I had a business owner ask me this last week, Alison, why didn't you let us know about the energy increase and that they're not going to support the hospitality industry? And I said, for goodness sake, you know, I've got to do an FAQ Friday on this because this has been going on for a while. It's not going to get any better very soon, is it?
No, they think, or we think, or the industry thinks that the prices will continue to rise for the next 18 months. Yes, we can help residential customers, no problem, and small to medium-sized businesses. And then we can also help large businesses, so hotels, etc., with the premium broker, the platinum broker. So we can help everybody, really. We know that the prices aren't going to go down anytime soon, and that it's time to act now, really.
Yeah, and there's lots of questions about should they fix or should they not fix, and I find it fascinating that normally you get a big hike of a bill or a penalty if you come out of a contract. However, I've noticed with Utility Warehouse that not only do you save money against the other providers, but you're very transparent. You're very clear that if you want to come out of a fixed contract, then it's only £25 per service. But the other additional point is obviously the platinum broker consultant who looks across the board. It isn't only certain elements of utilities, it's across the board, including water, which is a game changer for a lot of businesses who are navigating through these difficult times. And I think for me, when I look at invoices and I look at P&L accounts, profit and loss accounts in businesses, I'm surprised at how much people have accepted the price that has gone up. They've accepted it and trying to work out how to manage it whilst and actually cutting costs in staff, which are already at a tight place anyway, because they don't understand energy and utilities. And this is where you as an expert comes in, because you do understand it and you can actually help and teach them and navigate. I've learned so much from you, Angela, you know, and Wayne, your husband, who's also your business partner. You know, I've learned so much, and you're very hands-on and very personable in making sure that you explain it in detail of how to help and support each person that I've put forward to you.
Absolutely, we're here to help everybody. As you probably know, there are no fixed deals at the moment. So people going on to a compare the market website, say, to get a fixed deal, they're just not there anymore. So utility warehouse, that's where we come in, albeit a variable rate. We're 5% lower than the government price cap. So we are lower than any other provider at the moment. But also, as you say, with water, water has only been deregulated for businesses, so we can help with that as well. But residentially, that will happen. And as soon as that does happen, utility warehouse will be on it. So we've already got everything in place to be able to deal with that once water is deregulated. So it's just about helping people and getting them to focus on what's important. You know, from a financial point of view, you know, we know that people are struggling. We know that businesses are struggling. And it's about getting things in order so that you can have us to help you so that you can move forward and concentrate on more important things, really.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I actually teach the more that you can outsource, the better, with people who's got better strengths than you. Always surround yourselves with people who've got more strengths in areas that you haven't, because it helps grow and transform your business. And that is an area that everybody I know, barring probably a few in the industry, who they really struggle with energy. They don't understand it. They're not quite sure. I myself, when I was a hotel general manager, was exactly the same. You know, I would dread the contracts coming up, and I'd have to do it in a very finite space of time because I'd be given 6 months to a new contract and have to work out which is the best deal, and actually listen to somebody who I didn't know, who I wasn't aware whether they knew what they were doing or not, whereas I've experienced what you and Wayne do, and you actually communicate all along the way and take the pressure off, which is absolutely amazing. And so can I ask you, what do you do that will help and be relevant right now in the future for the hospitality industry?
Well, obviously, due to the current energy crisis, you know, we can help them to lower their bills, whether that be commercially or residentially. We can take the strain off them. We have the support of our head office to answer any queries that we can't, although we have been in the business quite some time, so there's not many things that we can't answer. By the way, we're not experts in energy. You don't have to be. You just have to know what the end result is. Can we save that person money, and make sure that they get the best out of the appointment with us? It's then up to them what they decide to do. They either carry on doing what they're doing and paying what they're paying, or they streamline everything onto one bill so that they can budget better. And I think psychologically as well, when you're getting more than one bill and more than one direct debit coming out of your bank, it can really upset some folk. You know, they're coming out at different times. So once it's all on one bill, they get a chance to look at that and be able to say, oh yeah, I understand that. Oh, I understand that. There's no jargon on our bills. They're very, very straightforward. So it's about helping not just residential customers, but the hotels, the hospitality trade, to free them up to do the things that are important to them. That's what they need to do. You need to, as you say, rely on other people and their skills so that you can get on with the job that's important to you, which is looking after your staff and looking after your customers.
Yeah, definitely. And I like to ask all my guests who come on our Showcase Sunday, what are the 5 top tips that you can give?
Oh, what I would say is find somebody that you connect with. So I like to think I'm quite an easygoing person, and so is Wayne. So find somebody that you can connect with, that you can talk to, that you can ask questions without feeling silly about the question that you ask, because there's no such thing as a silly question, only the one that you didn't ask, really. So you hopefully get to know, like, and trust them. That's really important. That kind of starts when you meet them. You know, meet them more than once. Stick me in a room, ask me any questions that you want, and I'll just get on with it. I think you should expect a personal service from the person that you're dealing with. You don't always get that with the big providers. You know, that's not important to them. What's important to them is that you pay your bills. What's important to us is that we make people feel comfortable and they can get that personal service from us 24/7. So, you know, let us look after you and your employees so that you can get on with doing what you're best at. And lastly, I would say, you know, be kind, support people, support your employees, have empathy. You have actually no idea what they're going through personally with their bills. It may affect their work. When they're at work, you know, at the hotel or guest house, or, you know, at the bar, you have no idea what they're actually going through. So if you've got nothing nice to say, then don't bother saying it at all. That's what I say. So just be kind and understand.
I love that. And just touching on that actually about staffing and bills, etc. The one thing I've noticed is how many people are in debt with their energy providers. And that's something that I didn't realise was a norm, so that you would end up staying with them. And I always say to my clients, if nothing changes, nothing changes. So you can't expect to suddenly, you know, do, for example, what I did, the Great North Run, without any training in a great time. And I think it's really important that they exercise the mindset and exercise going in the uncomfortable action if they've got it, but actually speaking to the teams and I guess if they bring you in, because that would be a no-brainer for me if I had a team in a hotel, as saying, look guys, you know, added value, added benefits for you. I brought in Angela, for example, to just see if you've got any bills. It's nothing to do with the hotel or the business or the organisation. Just let's have a look at it. Let Angela have a look at it, and then, you know, help and support you, see if she can help. And the one thing that I learned from you is no matter how much debt somebody's in, you can put a plan in place to actually help and support them to come out of it as well. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, basically, if they're in debt with their current provider, it's important that they speak to them to set up an arrangement where they pay that debt off. If they're going to move, say, to utility warehouse, it's important that they do that. But you're right, people do stay with that provider because they owe them money. And unfortunately, there will be some objections, even if the customer decides that they want to go with us, there can still be an objection put in by the current provider that they're with. But as long as they put an arrangement in place to pay that debt off, there shouldn't be an issue. And what's important as well is we offer a confidential service. So I know in the past there have been people who I've spoken to, say 2 years ago, who've perhaps been in debt and just kind of brushed me off and said, oh no, we're okay where we are. And that's fine. You know, we show them what we do, and if it's not for them, it's not for them. But I like to leave the door open so that they can always come back and get another quote from us when they're ready. And very often when they do come back, they say, I didn't go with you because I was in debt. And I understand why they don't tell us, because it's very private information. But I just want them to know that we don't judge them at all. You know, people get into these situations, and it's usually because the company that they've been with have set their direct debit too low.
Yeah.
So they think they're getting a good deal, but they're actually not. So they end up being in debt. And that's where, unfortunately, the companies try and keep hold of them. So just not to worry about that, you know, get the quote, see where you go from there. And, you know, hopefully you can move forward, because it can be psychologically damaging to people who know or worry about the fact that they're in debt with their energy company.
And it's through no fault of their own on 9 times out of 10, you know, where I've spoken to business owners whose own home, they've been in that position as well as the business. And when they've looked at it, it's because they've not concentrated on the bills, they've not seen it coming in, and then they've not seen what is actually accumulating. And that's the difficulty. The other thing that is hot on everybody's lips at the moment is how many the energy and utility businesses have gone into bankruptcy, how they've gone under, and they are worried. A lot of people are worried that they've been put into a position where they've been given another provider and told they've got to stay there. And I hear it all the time at the moment when I, you know, question invoices. They say, we've got to stay there because we've been told we have to, otherwise we'll get a penalty. Now, that's a myth, isn't it, Angela?
It is a myth. Since the beginning of September, 18 companies have gone bust. From the beginning of the year, 27 out of the 45 have gone bust. So that tells you the kind of crisis that we're in. And unfortunately, these companies who offer cheap deals don't think ahead. They don't buy ahead. They don't think ahead. And they can't offer those deals anymore because they're actually paying more for the energy now than what they're offering it to their customers. That's why they've gone bust. But Utility Warehouse are a very cash-rich company. You know, we're on the FTSE 250. You know, we're very, very secure. We've bought ahead. We have an agreement in place until 2033, which I think is fantastic. We have a 25-year business plan. That's important. That lets you know that that company is a safe company to deal with. And it is a myth. So if you've been switched from a company that's gone bust and you've been told to stay there until they give you a tariff or they give you a rate that you're going to be paying, that is a myth. Once you've been assigned a new provider by Ofgem, and you've had an email, say, from another provider to say, we're taking over, you do not have to stay with them until you get 1, an account number, or 2, a new tariff. Once you've been assigned to a new provider, you can then choose who you go with. And hopefully you'll go with us at Utility Warehouse or with our platinum broker if you're a large business. I understand that, you know, large businesses, you know, business customers can be tied into quite long contracts. And obviously we have to look at that. I'm dealing with one later, but that's okay. She still wants the information now so that she can make a decision in January to go with us for her business. But she's setting things in motion now. So that's really important, to be prepared. Know when your contract ends if you have a business contract, and set things in motion now for when that happens, and be prepared to put your, I think it's a 30-day notice. It depends on the business.
Yeah.
To put your notice in so that you can then be free to move where you want to move at a better rate.
Yeah, and that's vitally important in all business decisions. You know, making informed decisions rather
Absolutely.
than just winging it is critical and very important. And have you got any examples, Angela, of how you've helped the industry save time, save money, and how you've added value to your clients. You've mentioned that quite a few times, to be fair, already, about how you add value, your hand-holding service, you're personable, you are confidential. And I know that you have been in businesses where the teams have actually brought in the bills and you've been able to save lots of money in that situation, which is a win-win. I mean, how amazing, an employer looking after the team that way.
Absolutely, that's really important. We do go into businesses and, you know, we do save their staff money, which is really important. I think last week I dealt with somebody and it was over £1,000 a year saving because they were loyal to their provider for years, which didn't do them any favours at all. You know, I'm not going to name names, it doesn't matter who they are, but you do not get rewarded for loyalty. And I think, you know, we are the only company in the world, utility warehouse, that offer the customer a cashback card so that they can lower their monthly utility bill. Nobody else does what we do. So that's really important because we want our customers to lower their bills. And I think as well, that's where we've come into our own, because we don't just offer energy. We offer landline, broadband, mobile, home insurance, boiler cover. So everything can go onto one bill. So we've not been hit like the other, you know, the other companies have, because we are a multi-service provider. So, you know, we do all the switching for you, so you don't have to do that. We look at all your bills and we analyse them and scrutinise them and pick out all the information that some people struggle with because it's just jargon, they don't understand it. So that's where we come in. We can pick out the important information to be able to give them a quote and hopefully save them some money straight away and actually going forward. So we do offer that personal service, and once they are with us, Wayne and I look after them, so we keep an eye on their account to make sure that everything's okay. And you know, once they come to the end of a fixed deal, we can actually look at that and give them the option of going on to the next fixed deal or staying where they are, perhaps on a variable, depending on the market at the time. At the moment, the variable is cheaper than the fixed, but that could change. That could change. You just never know what's going to happen. So that's where we come in. We keep an eye on that. When you're busy at home, or you're working, or you've got a business, you don't have time to do those things, but we do, because it's what we do.
Brilliant, brilliant. And I think I could answer the next question. If someone was, you know, sitting on the fence thinking about working with you, what would your present and past customers say about you?
Well, we've been doing this for 9 years, as you know. It seems like a long time, and it is a long time to be doing what we do, but we still have customers from 9 years ago. So I think that kind of tells you that we look after people, and not just as a business, Wayne and I, but as a company, we look after our customers. So we don't just sign them up and forget about them and let them go into debt. We keep an eye on their usage, their direct debit. And actually, you could probably speak to any of our customers that have been with us for some time, and they will endorse us. They will say that Wayne and Angela do look after them, and the company is very good. So, you know, happy for any potential customer to speak to any of our customers. I'm sure we'd have a few. You know, we have a couple of hundred, so that's quite a lot for a small business, because we do work for ourselves, but we are partnered with a fantastic company who look after us.
And I can be testament to that as well, because I was probably one of the worst ones. I was quibbling. I'd actually switched, I don't know how many times prior to speaking to you. And when I first met you, you kept saying to me, you know, would you like to listen? And I just thought, all right then, all right. And I had my preconceived, I've already switched a million times, so I know I'm on the best deal. And I think I saved, was it £486 or something like that? It was crazy. And I'm now looking, I've now just got myself a new iPhone for the business under the same contract, which was crazy. And the price is a fraction of what I was paying with another provider. So my accountant's rubbing the hands at the moment, thinking it's amazing. But I know businesses who have gone through our platinum partner who have also saved thousands as well, and done it in advance, not too far in advance, obviously, because you can't, but done it in advance and actually locked some contracts in, which is amazing. So I'm definitely, you know, testament to that, because I was probably kicking and screaming coming to that road at the time, having been in the same position as a lot of the business owners I speak to and managers who avoid utilities and energy like the plague until it's hitting you in the face. So and fascinatingly enough, this is where I found out about the lack of support and lack of contracts coming through the hospitality industry because of the pandemic. A lot of providers in the energy world actually said, no, we will not support, and they were big companies as well, which really shocked me. And I spoke about it in the Caterer and Hotel Keeper, because I was so shocked that this was actually happening, and lots of businesses had to find other providers at a very last minute.
Yeah, that's quite normal, I think, you know, under the current circumstances. Of course, you won't find us on any comparison website. You will not find Utility Warehouse on there at all. And that's because those energy providers have to pay to be recommended. And we've always refused to do that, because we like to pass the savings on to the customer. We're a word of mouth recommendation company. We've been going since 1996. Our call centre is in the UK and will always be in the UK. So, you know, no disrespect to other companies being in different countries at all, but at least you can actually speak to somebody in this country and things don't get lost in translation, if you understand what I mean. You know, we have different cultures and different languages, so sometimes trying to get through to your provider can be awful, just an awful experience, and people just give up after a while because they're not getting their message across. So, you know, we pride ourselves on our UK customer service centre, and obviously people like us in the field. And, you know, we can always help others to do what we do. So that's really important, you know, in the current climate, perhaps having a second income, you know, an additional income, just for those extra things that you want, or to help make ends meet, or to, you know, be a stay-at-home mum or dad or whatever. We can always help people to do what we do. So that's great, knowing that we can make a difference to people.
That's amazing. Yeah, to have a second income is absolutely fantastic. If you're getting to just help your friends and family to save some money, that's amazing.
Just a little sideline to that. I was speaking to a lady the other day who put forward a load of people to me and asked me to speak to them, and I just said to her, why don't you do it? You'll get paid for actually helping all these people. You know, it's okay sending them to me, I'm very happy to help them, but why don't you make some money yourself from, you know, be rewarded by Utility Warehouse for helping those people as well. So we're working on that at the moment, which is really nice.
That's lovely. That's lovely. Fantastic. I love helping everybody help other people as well. Yeah. So how do people get in touch with you? Obviously, we're going to put the links at the end, all your contact details at the end of our Showcase Sunday. So what is the best way to get in contact with you direct?
To get in contact with me is usually best by phone, because I have my phone strapped to my pocket on my hand. My husband as well, so I'll put both those numbers on so they can phone me. I don't know whether you want me to give the number now or whether you'll put it on later, Alison.
Both if you like, yeah.
Okay, so you can reach us on 07807 514 311 or 07792 149 108. You can email me at goangie, that's GOANGIE @uwclub.net. And you can contact us, you can have a look at our website on www.makegoalscometrue.co.uk.
Love it, fantastic. Thank you very much, Angela. Would you like to add anything, or are you okay?
No, it's just lovely to talk to you, Alison, and I just hope we can help lots and lots of people going forward. It's really important, particularly not just in the future, but particularly this time of year where people may be struggling, they're worried going forward about their bills. It costs nothing to have a look. We don't. We're not hard sell. We're not that kind of company. We're not that kind of people. And it costs nothing to have a look. And I'm happy to chat to anybody about it.
Oh, that's lovely. Thank you. And it's same with the business as well, the platinum provider, who can massively help and support, and I can certainly pass them on as well. So
absolutely, I'm happy to come in and chat to them and stick me in an office for the day, and I'll be happy.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Angela. It's been an absolute honour and pleasure, and hopefully we'll get lots of businesses who want to help and support not just their businesses and themselves, but also the team members as well. So fingers crossed.
Absolutely. Thank you, Alison.
Thank you.